Right, let's see if we can turn this around. Sorry for those coming on right now, I'm not quite ready, but I just want to make sure, yeah, it can. Wonderful. Right. Right, okay, testing sound, that's all good. Comments on. Yep, top chat. Right, okay, that should all be recording fine. Right, hi there, Steve Abel here, A Bike Thing. This is my first live broadcast I've done, and this is gonna be a big one. So this is my bike behind me here, which you all know, you've all seen it, all my subscribers have seen it for many times. This is a customer's bike that came in a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't had a chance to get on it because of well, it doesn't matter, but I haven't had a chance to actually start working on it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a major load of upgrades to this bike. And I thought, instead of like videoing hours and hours of content and then editing everything, which can take a whole day, sometimes even longer, I thought I'm going to do this live. Okay, this is going to create videos which are going to be hours and hours long because there's a lot of work required to this, probably a whole day's worth of work. But we're going to cut it into chunks. So this is part one. So this is basically a brand spanking new R1250GS Adventure exclusive. It's got 0 miles on it. The customer hasn't even ridden it. You can see he's already had an SC Project exhaust put on it. He's had some pretty cool like boot protectors, so doesn't get all splashed. I quite like them. And but other than that, there's no other upgrades apart from the windshield on the front. He's got a Touratech toolbox on the back. But we're gonna put a load of stuff in it. So let me bring you over to my workbench, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be doing to this. Right. Right, so these are all the parts that are going to go on this bike. Now, please don't feel like you've got to stay on here. I'm actually not recording this video in a way where I expect you to be on here all the time. This is going to be a reference for people to come back and look at and fast forward to the bits that you want to see. So, right, over on the left, we've got a Lonerider headlight protector, which, as you've seen on my bike, I'll just swivel the camera around so you can see it on mine. It's one of them. That's it. We're also putting on an Innovv K2 with a 256GB SD card. We've got a sound bomb wiring harness. We've got the sound bomb wiring harness adapter, so we can plug that directly into the wiring harness on the bike. We've got these mounts which are going to be mounting on some lights. We've got another mount which is going to be mounting on some D7 lights. We've got some Givi product here as well, which is going to be for powering up his tank bag. As we come across here, you can now see we've got the D7s, 2 D7s. We've got a sound bomb. We've got a Denali Can Smart. We've got 2 S4 lights. We've got the mount next to it just here, which is for the sound bomb. This customer has opted to go for a double rear light, which I actually haven't fitted myself before anyway. So, and what this basically comes as a kit where it's an offset mount with 2 Denali lights, but this isn't. It's not the typical B6 license plate light that I normally sell and install. So what we're going to do, just to get this video started, is we're going to strip down his bike. Right. So as you can see, I've already got it on the Skylift, ready for action. I'm just going to rise this tripod up. Like I say, this is completely unedited. You're watching it live. It will never be edited. But anyone out there who wants to know exactly how to install all this equipment on their bike, step by step. I missed out the cuppa. Cheers, Chris. Anyone who wants to know exactly how to do it step by step, without fast forwarding or editing anything, you're going to see it. Right, okay, let's get started. So, my bike, let's make sure that's all in position. Okay, take that back a little bit. I would turn this around so I can see it on the screen, but the camera on the other side is nowhere near as good. So, right, okay. Let's get started. So I'm going to take his top box off because I don't need that on the bike. So part one of this is literally a strip down. So we should be done in about 20 minutes. Oh, there's the keys. Wrong side. So take the seats off. As you can see, it's a brand spanking new bike. It's still got the little the red thing under the seat, which shorts out the thing under the. Oh, I can't get my words right. There's a little plug which basically enables Dynamic Pro and Enduro Pro. Okay, let's start taking this apart. And then there's 2 screws at the front. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking off the fuel, not the fuel, the tank cover, the top cover on the tank. So once you've got those off, there's a larger screw just behind the handlebar, which I think is a T30. I'll know when I pop that in there. Yeah, it is. And it's a lot tighter as well, so you need a bit of a stronger torque on it. Now, it's advisable to make a note of what screws come out of where. Now, I've taken these bikes, hundreds of these bikes apart, so I know exactly what screws go into where. Some screws have shoulders, some don't, and you don't want to get the wrong screw in the wrong hole. Right, so now that all those are off, we can now pop the actual tank cover off. Like so. Put it in a safe place. What I have is I have bungee cords hanging from the girders in my workshop, and I actually hang them from it against a cloth. Okay. Right, seat adjuster. Remember exactly the position you had it in. If you like the position you're riding in, this one's in low. I'm taking that out. Tell you what, there's nothing else I need to do actually on this rear part here. Well, there is actually. There's loads to do. Right, so let's start taking off the. This is the little bridge which the seat adjuster sits on. So I'm going to take this off. Tell you what, I'll bring the rather than me keep moving the camera, I'm gonna move the bike so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay. There's a tiny little cable tie just to cut just there. And then that pops off a fuse holder. Like that. And then we put that to one side. Won't need that until we put the bike back together right at the very end. Slurp of tea is always required. Right. Okay, so that bit I'm happy with right now. Now we're going to start taking off all the front wings. So I'm going to start with the side that you can see. Okay, let's see what you can see. Any questions? None so far. Right. Okay, let's move this a little bit. Right. So just here, just make sure you can see that. Yeah, okay. Hold on to these, because if you just let go, they will fall out. Oops, walking like a duck. And whilst I'm over here, I'm just going to take the other side off. I know you can't see it, but it's exactly the same. This is where the skylift comes in really handy, because you can turn the handlebars with such ease. Right, okay. And then we're just going to start unscrewing all these different screws. There's a screw just here, which is the cover for the radiator. Just need to screw in that one. But I can't stress enough as well how methodical you need to be when doing this. You can't just unscrew things and just lay things on the floor. You've got to put things in a methodical place. Well, you just got to do it methodically so you can put this back together exactly in the same way it came apart. So we took one from there, one from here, we've got one here. We've got one just here. And we've got one here. Just make sure you can see that down there. Yes. Right, put those in the box. Right, whilst it's in that situation, right, I'm just going to jack the bike up a little bit. So the whole idea is I'm not on my knees so much. Right, let's make sure you can see that okay. It's a bit out of focus, isn't it? Let's bring a bit of light in as well. Okay. So coming under the nose, we're going to take this nose section off. So there's two screws that hold on the black beak itself. That now comes off. Just going to hang this up so it's out of harm's way. Right, and there's another screw on the right hand side as you're looking at the bike, which joins the two beak sections together. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to undo this bolt here so we can pull this bar out and loosen these ones off here. Now I don't think I've got no, I know I haven't got a socket set that's narrow enough to get down there. There we go. This is a 40, T40. Okay. Now it's getting warm. Okay, and I'm just going to do the same on the other side. I don't think I need to turn around for you guys to see that. Right. So now what we're doing, let me just see if there's any questions. There probably are, but I just can't see them. 25 viewing live, I'm surprised. When I say I'm surprised, I mean, as I said, in case you haven't already heard, I'm just making this live because then it's just completely unedited. So make sure you can see what I'm doing now. Yeah, so it's just completely unedited. So if I make a big mistake, you're going to see it. So what I'm doing here is just loosening these a fraction, tiny amount. Okay. Just so we can do that. That's all we need to do. We don't actually need to take this off. And the same the other side. Now with the other side, the fog light gets in the way a little bit, so you need to. Tell you what, I'll bring it around and show you. I'll bring it around and show you. Yeah. Okay. So with this one, we're just going to pull this up out of the way a little bit, and so we can access these two. Just loosen that a little bit. I think there's a bolt in here, and we just rest that, making sure it's not going to mark on here. Just going to tweak that a little bit so it's not resting on there. There we go. Right. Right, so while we're over this side, we're going to start unscrewing all of this side. And one just down here. Hang on, let's get. Come on. Tell you what. I'll tell you what, we'll go the old-fashioned way. One in there as well. Right. Okay. So now it's like that. We've got a screw just behind here to get to, but we're literally going to take this off. But oh, hang on, we've got two screws each side of the radiator to do first. So let's make sure you can see that when I'm doing that. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll use the handheld again for this one because it's a bit tricky to get the. So you've got two each side. So I'll try and come back tomorrow and do part 2. Well, I will come back tomorrow and do part 2 because I don't want this bike in bits for too long. It's always so lovely working on a brand new bike. It's not the first time I've done this. It's not uncommon for my customers to buy products from me before they've had delivery of the bike. That's not uncommon at all. And then instead of ride it to me, they just have it picked up by a van or have the dealership deliver it directly to me. And then they pick it up a few days later. Right. Okay. Right, okay, so let's now take off these panels very carefully. I've got those two sides off there, just having a double check. I haven't been working for a week, so yeah, that's all off. So you have to push down here to get a clip that comes out of there. You've got little sliders that get coming under here. And then, why do I feel like I've left something screwed in? Because I have, that's why. Yes, I have. Sorry, I'm thinking of a R1200, not an R1250. Right. There's one more down here. Oh. See, I told you this would be unedited, completely raw. So there's one just at the bottom. So it's 3 each side of this piece here. Follow the screw. So now it's like that. This should now come completely clear. All right, so the other screw, so you can see, those are the, hang on, I think I've got that right. Is that one there? I've got to do it to undo. Right, I'm going to hang this again from my rafters, from the bungee cords, just so it's not going to get knocked. Okay, that's that one done. Now, make sure you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah. So then before this section comes off here, we just need to undo this one here. There we go. That will then, well, you need to take that off. Well, hang on, I'm going to take it off just yet, because I like to take the other side off first. So let's bring the camera back round here rather than spinning the bike around. Oops. Seems to be working okay. Right, so we're going to get that other screw down here. So it's not the one at the front, it's like tucked back a little bit, but you can see it. So same again, pop that down. There we go. Look at that. brand spanking new. If I did that on mine, I'd be caked in dust and mud and everything. Right, hang that from the ceiling as well. My mate thinks I've got an OCD where I like as much things off the floor as possible. I like everything being hung up out of the way. Right. So now we've got that. All right, yeah. Need to undo that screw. Now, a lot of people ask me, Steve, why do you do these videos? Why do you show people how to do it? Because, as you know, I'm doing several installs a week. Well, not several a week, maybe 1 or 2 a week. And I'm just doing myself out of business. But the truth of the matter is, I sell so many bundles every week, and people live all around the world, they're buying them, and they don't know how to fit them, and they haven't got anyone local to them who wants to do them. I'm also hearing BMW, a lot of BMW dealers, won't even entertain installing Denali stuff. So I don't mind. If you're buying bundles from me, then I'm more than happy. Now, there probably is not a link down below because this is a live broadcast, a live video. So I'm just going to hang this one up. But I'm pretty sure after I finish this, I can go onto it and stick a link down below to my website in case you've never been here before, and you can view all the bundles for the various different BMWs, RTs, GSs, GS Adventures. Right, let's bring this around here. And let's take that one off. All right, okay, so with this one, this is the large piece of the two. You've got, bring it around here. Oops. Right, you've got like rubber bung that goes over a plastic pin, and you just pull it off that one. And there's one that you can't see this one, but you can feel it with your fingers. Pull that one off, and then hold on. And then it comes off. Voila. Okay, I'm just hanging this one up as well. Right. So if you look behind the bike, you'll see all the parts hanging up over there. Pretty cool, eh? Right. Okay, what next? Tokyo Vids. Thank you for that message. This is my business channel, okay? But thank you. They're good. Right. Right. Okay. Right, so now what we need to do is get rid of the, not get rid of, but remove the side panel. Hang on, let me just turn the bike a little bit for you. It's got better visibility. So, there we go. So we're removing these bits here. So one screw there. We've already taken that screw out down there, and we've taken that screw out there. But now we've got the famous plastic pin that we need to get out, which I hate this bit. But I will show you how I do it. Let me just get a pair of bent nose pliers. Right, let's bring the camera right down so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Right, I can't even see it myself. I'm gonna have to adjust the tripod here. Here we go. Right. Hang on. I can't see what I'm looking at here. No, I have to adjust the legs a little bit. Completely unedited. Okay. Right. So, can you see what I'm looking at? Let me get my screwdriver and show you. That just there. The tiny little black pin which goes through. So if you just pull this off, you're going to break it. So what you have to do, and I am not skilled at this at all, especially on the R1250. I am on the 1200 a little bit better, but they don't really make it easy for you to get in there. So I'm going to do my, it's very hard with the camera in my way as well. Right, so let's right, okay. So we come in here and we need to basically pull out the pin. Just down here. So I've got some bent nose pliers to try and help. But it's all about trying to get the first little bit out with a flathead screwdriver. Okay, let's try this tiny small. Let's try this tiny small screwdriver. Okay, I think I've got that out a little bit. Give me some more light. I'm sorry it's taken a bit longer. See, all the edited videos I've done over the past, I make it look so easy, don't I? Because I take all this bit out where it takes a long time to get a screw out or something. Why they couldn't just put a screw in here, I have no idea. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got it, I got it, I got it. I think. I think I have to put a new one in here. They're only plastic, but I can just put a new pin in, I've got spares. Oh, doesn't want to know. Alright, let's use my other pliers. There we go. There it is. So now that's out. Well, that bit's going to go in the bin because I've got brand new ones that I can replace it with. That's fine. And then there's a plug behind it, which is that. So now that panel can come right off. So let's just pull this back out of the way. Right. So when you pull this off, it's like a hook. It's got to come this way for it to get over a hook, and then that's like that. And then I think there's a grommet up here. Yes, there is a little grommet. So you pop the grommet out like you had on the nose section, and there you go. Okay. So hang that one up out of the way. Might be a bit of white snake. Right. Okay, let's spin it around and do the other side. Okay. Okay, right. So same again. This side's a little bit easier because you can see the shape of it. So we're coming in on Can you see it just there? Right. Okay, let's use the shorter screwdriver. Right, so I'm just prizing out the pin with a screwdriver. A flat-headed screwdriver, that is. And then pop in the bent nose pliers. So dark in here. Oh, they're stubborn, these are. Right. This does not want to know. Well, that pin is completely stuck in there. Okay. Things don't always run smoothly, eh? Things do not always run smoothly. Right. Right, I'm going to drill that out, I'm afraid. The pin didn't want to come, so it's going to have to be drilled. Right. Battery. You need a tiny, tiny drill bit. Right, so I'm just going to come into the, I've got a tiny, tiny drill bit, you can see it, it's very, very small, so it's not going to do any damage whatsoever. If I can get it in there, I can't get the right angle. Right, just put this back up again. Let me see. Need to take the crash bar off, just so I can gain access. Right. I'm just releasing the wire now on the OEM fog light. Okay. There we go. Drill. Right. Come on. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that music playing in the background. I haven't heard this song for years. I'm trying to think. Is that Joe Satriani, Surfing with an Alien? Sorry, I need to find out. It is Joe Satriani, Surfing with an Alien. Takes me back. Right. So we're going to use a complete new plug. So don't be alarmed that I'm wrecking this plug. We're putting a brand new one in place. Come on. Come on. I'm just going to change the drill bit, something a little bit bigger. Do you know what? I've never ever had to drill one of these out, ever. And here I am going live. Typical, isn't it? How many bikes have I done like this? Hundreds. Hundreds. Okay, is that going to flip over the top of that? Not quite. Right, okay, now I can take that off, and then I can drill it out once the panel's off. Right. So anyone who's just joining, the pin would not come out, so I've had to drill it out. So let me just pull this back. One, two, that one's done there. And now we're going to do, slide that backwards here, so that comes off. There's a pin and a grommet up here. Pop that off. Make sure there's no damage to that. No, there's not. Okay. Hang this one up as well. Just pop it there for now. Okay. Right. So where you can see that pin, just there, we're just going to take that out now, which might need to be drilled again still. But let me just see if I can get my grips on it. Do you know what? Mole grips. Mole grips. Makes me wonder if someone's glued it in there. But I'm sure that's not the case. It's a brand new bike. There we go. Can't use that again, so don't worry. If the customer's watching, got brand new ones, don't worry. Okay. Right. So, next, I just need to recompose myself. I've got a bit of a sweat on doing that. A little bit of a sweat on. Right. So let's put that back on. Okay. There we go. Right, so the next thing we're going to do, so this is ready to start putting items on, is remove the fuel tank, because there's a lot of stuff going on this bike. Let me just raise the, sorry, you got a bit of movement on the camera because I'm adjusting the tripod again. Right, and raise. Okay. Okay, so nothing needs to come off the front now. So I'm just going to lower the bike down. So, let's see what you can see there. Right. Right, so to take the fuel tank off, we need to disconnect all the tubes and the wires that are coming to the fuel tank. Now there's a wire for the keyless ignition, which runs along. You can literally follow it all the way along. It's not difficult once you've got this much off, but it comes along here. And there's lots of cable ties, so we're going to grab a pair of wire snips and start unclipping that start unclipping the cable. Right, so one down here. Sorry you can't see what I'm doing, but literally as you're going around the bike and you're chasing that cable along, you'll see the cable ties. Goodness, I'm really struggling here to get in. Right, glasses back on. Sorry about that bit of noise you just heard there. Got my microphone attached to my baseball cap and my glasses just touched it. Right. Cable tie. Another one under there. Being very careful you don't cut any wires. You're just cutting the cable tie. That's 4. There we go. And then it's this white plug just here. So to get it out, you just push on there. And if it doesn't come out, we're going to, it's just pushed into the, like so. So we're going to, like that, and there we go. We can now put that over there. And so don't forget, that is the wire for your fuel tank. So for your keyless entry, keyless fuel cap. You know what I mean. Right, so now we're going to pull this out here. So anyone who's just joined, you're thinking, right, okay, I didn't see it from the beginning. I'm making this video as a reference guide. This is always going to be online. You'll always be able to come back to this video in the future and see it. So this is part 1. This is the strip down. Part 2, which hopefully I'll do tomorrow, will be me putting all the components on. So two fuel things there. So if you haven't got time to watch this now, don't. Just come back in the future. It's always going to be on here, and you'll know what's what on each video. Right. Okay, so that's that bit done there. Now this is the bit that's really hard to show. Now I've had a customer in the past help me with this, with the videos and the lights, because you can't really get down here. There is a video. The link is not in the description right now as I'm doing this live, but I will remember to put a link. I think if you go onto my channel and look for, I think it's titled Lonerider and fuel tank. I think it actually says fuel tank removal and assembly. And I've got some really good close-up footage of my bike taking the fuel tank off. It's the exact same connections on the 1250 as well. Right, so to do this, what we're going to do, I'm going to get some little bits ready over here. Like a screwdriver would be good, a little flat-bladed screwdriver. And I think that's it actually, that's all it's needed. Now I'm hoping this isn't full of fuel, because it's bloody heavy if it is. Right, so screwdriver at the ready. We're going to lift this up and move it back slightly. We just unclip for that. So that's 3. There we are. Now I've got 3 connections down here. One's the fuel, and there's 2 electrical connections. So I'm going to unplug the fuel now. And all I'm doing is pressing down this white button, and it just pops out. It's like a vacuum seal, so everything seals up. So that's now off. I'm now going to take the 2 electrical connections off in here, and it's really a case of just fiddling around. And I've got no light down here at all, so once you get your eyes on it with a bit of light, you can see exactly what you need to do. But my glasses are now steaming up. I can't see anything. Oh no, hang on, I've got it. I think I've got it. Come on, unsteam. I'm very hot-blooded, as it seems. Hang on, wait for that to unsteam. Okay. Okay, I've got it. Got one off. Now for the other one. There's a piece of felt underneath this, under this tank, which is protecting the bottoms. Okay, they're both off. So now I'm going to grab it. It's about half full tank. Pull it away. Pop it on the floor. There we go. Make sure you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, you can. Right. Got some old classic tunes coming on now, aren't there? David Lee Roth or Van Halen. Well, same thing. Right. Felt cover. And there we go. That exposes everything we need. So the bits we just unplugged, that was the fuel. And these are the 2 electrical connections. You can't get them wrong because they're both completely different sizes. So don't worry about getting them on the right plug because you can't get it wrong. So that is the strip down, guys. Don't think there's anything else I need to do. I will be taking the back tail apart, but I'll do that on like the last video of all this. So let me just give you a walk around so you can see exactly what I've done. How long? 64 minutes. I can normally do it in half an hour. Oh, it's that bloody pin, wasn't it? It's that ruddy pin. What's around here? Okay, so that is now ready for the next stage. Hope you enjoyed it. I can't believe that's 25 people actually stayed with me during the live feed. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support, and look forward to seeing you for the next video where we're putting all the equipment on there. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.